Ooh, pretty.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7, on the dot, no matter what. We're all
Okay,
here.
so clearly not everybody's gonna make it to that dinner.
Super over-enunciated.
No, that's definitely Avengers Tower.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Holy crap, Ben looks great.
Don't put your rocks in the sauce.
Ben, you look so good with your big eyebrows!
There's no way you get those hands clean. They're so craggy.
I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious, I just want to add a little bit of zip, okay?
A little bit of zip, all right.
Zip. They're really over-enunciating everything. Ooh, Reed's putting it on the board.
You couldn't turn invisible.
Wow,
wasn't a rock.
loving this color palette.
In the world, right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Classic trench coat.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is.
This isn't the worst thing you've ever caught me doing.
Okay, Sue says Ben is the rock, but it seems like she's the rock to me.
Whatever life throws at us,
No, Johnny.
we'll face it.
Fire needs oxygen to survive. You can't do it.
That looks awesome.
Okay, we got some Ben Grimm stands
That's a
in the house. Cool.
fantastic looking car. Holy
John
crap!
Malkovich.
Is that Red Ghost?
As a family.
How are you gonna show me Red Ghost and then Galactus? That's
Fantastic
rude.
Four. Yes.
Interesting.
Wow.
I'm hyped. I'm hyped.
Instead of like a musical theme, they just actually say the name. That's pretty funny. Welcome to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast. My name is Matthew Carroll.
And I'm Jeff Randall.
And with us today, we got J. Scotty St. Clair. What's going on, J. Scotty?
Okay. Is this guy good or what? And by this guy, I mean this trailer, obviously.
Yes.
It was quite good. We'll get into it. We normally try to do a trailer frame by frame breakdown, but we don't have time for that this morning. But we didn't want to hesitate in putting this out, so we're just going to do a quick conversation.
Yeah, I'm awake.
Yeah, you're awake. You actually got up before work to do this. You guys out on the West Coast, it's like 7 a.m. there. So what are your initial first blush thoughts?
It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked for so long about how the thought of the retro-futuristic alternate Earth that Fantastic Four obviously has to live in if they're going to be the team from the 60s or whatever, or whatever time displaced something, multiverse.
Somehow
hopping.
they're the first family jumping in 15 years late. Yeah.
Yeah. It's 2025 when we started making these in 2008. Where you guys been? You were the first.
What's going on, you guys?
You've obviously been somewhere else in the multiverse, but it's
just hanging out
beautiful.
in that little recessed pit in the refitted Avengers Tower.
Yeah. They've got that conversation pit, from
That's
the
it.
60s.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Yeah. But it's so cool. It looks like they're in Avengers Tower, not retrofitted, retro-futuristic fitted. No.
Yeah, retro-futuristic fitted. That's it.
They just can't get away from that set, that one, Marvel's just we built a great set. We have to use it.
At some point, they bought they bought that apartment, and it was very expensive. And they're like, we got to get lots of use out of this. We'll put Val in there. In the Thunderbolts trailer, we'll put Fantastic Four in there in this trailer.
How many ways can we make this place happen?
Yeah. What about you, Jay Scotty? What are your thoughts on this trailer, first blush?
Yeah, I concur. I think this is the piece of marketing that I was really waiting for. I've been excited for Fantastic Four First Steps all along the way, but I've been holding it at a little bit of arm's length. There are some other movies coming out this year that I'm a little more excited for. But this, pardon the pun, it looks fantastic. I think if all else fails, the story could fall flat on its face based on this trailer. I think they nailed the look. It just looks, Jeff, to your point, beautiful, steeped in that retro-futuristic aesthetic. I love the color palette. The CGI already this early on looks fantastic.
It looks so good.
I'm going to keep doing that. But yeah,
Ben
even though I
looks
say
so good.
Ben looks really freaking good. I didn't even question. You know what? Until you said that, I didn't even think about the CGI because I didn't question that he was just a rock. Like I'm not joking. Until you said that, I was like, yeah, they just got a rock guy for this, and apparently.
Anyway, sorry. Come a long way from that Michael Chiklis suit.
Oh God,
indeed.
I said they could, their narrative could fall short. Based on what was presented here, I don't think so. We had kind of heard that Sue is going to be a kind of central character, and based on the dialogue we got, I think that seems to be evident. It's kind of interesting to see Ree be the one with more hesitation and doubt, and she is the rock of the family.
Yeah. Agreed. She seems definitely like the moral center of the family. What do we call Coulson, the glue or something? He called himself that or something. I think this again looks beautiful. I had to wear my best Fantastic Four blue shirt. I should if it wasn't so early, I was gonna try. You need like a piece of paper and just draw a 4 on it. Let's see, 4. There we go. Just like checkbook. Anyway, prop comedy, everyone. So stupid.
You could get fancy with some origami. I could see it. Could probably fold a single piece of paper and make the right cuts and have a little Fantastic Four emblem there.
Little perfect 4, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this trailer's great. The thing you mentioned it, Scotty, that the story could fall flat. The one thing I did not feel like we got enough of here, which it's a teaser. But the thing is, they put out a teaser at Comic-Con like a year ago or something. It's a long time ago, and we heard what was in that. And this feels like that level, which is what we need. It's our first look at this thing for real. But I was kind of right. I guess I was just kind of hoping for a surprise or two, and I don't think we got that. It's just a vibe. It's a vibe to look at the vibe of the thing.
I feel like John Malkovich was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, well, we knew he was announced, right? Or did we not know that?
We knew he was part of the cast. We still do not know who he's playing.
Right.
I think I know.
Well, tell us, Jeff. Who do you think John Malkovich is playing?
He looks a lot like a recurring Fantastic Four villain called Red Ghost, or Ivan.
Oh yeah,
Ivan.
I heard you mention that when we were
like
watching it, but I don't know who that is.
Oh yeah, okay.
He's it's Red Ghost and his super apes. He basically was in a race with. Like he was the Soviet scientist who was in the race with like the space race to get to the moon, and he wanted to get to the moon to claim the moon for the Soviets, but he ended up like not winning the space race, and like saw what happened to the Fantastic Four, and then was like, I want that, and so he like deliberately exposed himself and 3 primates, his super apes, to cosmic rays, and sort of got like a Fantastic Four that was like just monkeys. Or I mean, like one was an orangutan, one was like they were 3 different kinds of primate.
That's funny.
But like he just kept showing up with like a super strong primate and a primate who could shapeshift, and like and like he could turn invisible. It's weird. It's a weird one, but like.
Okay.
He's a super genius that's fighting against the team because he's so interested in the moon, and that's where the Watcher hangs out. He ends up interacting with the Watcher a lot too.
So if we look at how Marvel might adapt that, it sounds like he would be like some sort of competitor to Reed, and we know that from the trailer that they've been to space before and got their powers, and now they're going back. And I wonder if that's in some way, like they're going back because of him or something, like he's doing something and they're going back to stop him, or they're going back to, maybe he has some plans for the moon or whatever. I don't know. Or maybe he has theory. Maybe he's like somehow caught on to that Galactus is coming or something, and they're trying to test that theory or figure it out. I don't know.
Unknown.
Yeah.
I love that Marvel's putting out all their movies on my birthday, by the way. July 25th is my birthday. 2nd year in a row. We got Deadpool and Wolverine last year, and now with this. So just in all the trailers, it's like Matt's birthday.
Yeah, you got a good one. July 25th, right?
Yeah.
My brother's is July 24th, and I was always a little jealous of him growing up because he'd get to have like the summer pool party birthday, and mine's like right after the doldrums of the holidays.
Yeah, my dad was like, I think June 6th. And if I remember correctly, I may be wrong. I may be wrong, and I'm about to reveal myself as wrong if I am. But whatever day my dad's was, it was the same weekend that Father's Day always fell. So great movies always came out on Father's Day. It's like, take your dad to the movies. It was like Jurassic Park came out near his birthday. But the original Batman '89 came out like on his birthday. Like a bunch of really great stuff came out on his birthday when I was growing up.
I don't get good stuff on my birthday.
Well, you should be better throughout the year.
I try.
Yeah. I do like the Red Ghost theory for John Malkovich a lot, but I just couldn't help, recency bias here, having just watched my Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and we talked about how Paul F. Tompkins voices a character called Wes, I can't remember exactly, but Dr. Bentley, I think is his name. And I did research to find out that is a Human Torch villain called the Wizard. So when I saw, long hair looking kind of like Moses, I was like, ooh, is he the Wizard? Is there, some, loose connectivity happening between these disparate properties?
That's really
Alternate
cool.
wizard.
That's really cool. I wonder, I find myself wondering watching this trailer with as much as they're doing to set up this alternate reality. I feel like we have two reactions to this alternate reality. It could feel like a cartoon to us, like this reality doesn't really exist, so the peril could feel less. Or we could start to love this universe so much that the peril feels really, like if this universe is in real danger or this world is in real danger, it could feel real to us because it's like, oh, I want this wonderful retrofuturistic world to exist. And I think that's one of the things they're going to have to do in this movie is find the way they want us to feel. If they want to keep it light, maybe it's okay if it feels like a cartoon and the world passes away and they move on. Or if it's something they really want us to feel, the loss of their world or the fear for their world, which I think they will. They really got to convince us that this, even though this is not our world, even though it's a world of like crazy cars and cool, weird speech patterns where everyone's over enunciating their consonants.
No, it's all transatlantic there, Matthew.
It's not though. They're not doing that. They're just going like they're doing like the hard T's and hard P's and like they're really like enunciating things, which is, I don't know. I think it's an interesting thing because both Ben Grimm and Mr. Fantastic do it.
Maybe it's a byproduct of having media training.
I mean, I think that's a valid point. Like, this is one of our first heroes, and it seems like, I mean, we see them in interviews in multiple, like this throughout this trailer. They're being interviewed. They're on a TV show. It looks like with like arrows pointing at them.
Right.
What are they? What are they? You mentioned winning the space race. What are they trying to win in the hearts and minds of this world that matters?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be keeping public opinion in their favor is the goal. I mean, we saw kids with Ben Grimm masks that were, eyebrows as big as his.
Yeah, these eyebrows, they do set off the thing. I like it a lot.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's like, to get a comics accurate thing it feels like I won. Like it feels like those of us who have followed the thing for any amount of time, like we win today.
Yeah. This whole year we're winning, man. Like people that are excited for Marvel things are just winning real hardcore this year. I started rewatching Daredevil last night and like just so pumped for that, and Thunderbolts and Brave New World, and this I can't believe this is our first look. I mean, it's only like this thing is like 6 months away.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Crazy.
Well, with that in mind, notably absent from the proceedings are Silver Surfer, Julia Garner, as well as Natasha Lyonne's character. I was definitely suspecting that she'd be voicing Herbie, and that does not seem to be the case. So I think the speculation that she might be playing Alicia Masters, I'm leaning a lot more towards that now, as well as Paul Walterhauser, who I still am in the Mole Man camp. So as much as this trailer did show us, it did what a teaser's supposed to do. There's still a lot that we don't know.
Paul Walterhauser looks very, very fit for the Mole Man casting.
Yeah, totally see it. All right, well, I mean, I feel like I know we're keeping it short this morning because we've all got stuff to do. And we wanted to just get on and do something quick. But what are any other major takeaways from the Fantastic Four trailer?
Got to give some love to Michael Giacchino's score. I think it's really selling that like otherworldly kind of ethereal feel that really works for me.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It is funny that they are saying the name of the movie in it, but it works for me still. It's goofy, but it works.
Yeah, it's goofy. I think a lot of this movie is going to be goofy. I mean, we talked about it a million times how they were able to take a tree and a raccoon and make them work as characters, and here we've got a rock man tasting. A rock man, like, does he have taste buds? I guess so. Taste rocks? I don't know. He has tasting the sauce of a little robot. Like, it's just a very silly shot. I have it frozen there right now, and I'm like, this is so silly, but it works. I'm not taken out of it at all. I really am into it.
Oh, you're taken to the bear for a moment. And
totally. I meant to mention that it's the like Eben Bachrach like doing a chef related scene in his one kind of moment in this trailer. That was pretty great. Another little zip.
Another big shout out that we haven't mentioned yet: Galactus.
Oh yeah, of course.
Comics accurate Galactus.
Yeah.
Which is, it's bizarre because like Galactus is so variable in size, you know?
Sure.
Like there's so many times where like you see like Galactus has like the earth in his palm, but then there's like he's walking through New York. Like, how does he do it? I don't know. It doesn't make much sense. Other than like maybe he also has Ant-Man shrink grow technology that's like way advanced.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's funny.
But like, if he feeds on worlds, like if he eats worlds for his energy, why care? Like, why go to that planet and like look around and be like, oh yeah, there's enough here. Why not just like yum and then move on?
My suspicion is I sent my herald here to do my bidding, and my herald hasn't come back. Where is my herald?
Where's my herald? Maybe.
Did we see Reed use his powers? I think he's the only one of the four that we did not see any powers on display for. So I wonder why that is the case, and are they going to do something really novel with the visualization there? That's why they're kind of, not showcasing that yet.
Or as mentioned earlier, a lot of times these effects look great for how early on this trailer exists. Maybe those effects don't look great yet.
Sure, totally.
Totally. It's going to take them another minute to get those just right. That's a tough effect. Do you think, I feel like this is inevitable, do you think there will be a scene where he has that humongously long blackboard and he's using his arms on different sides of it?
Oh, gotta be.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's fun.
I wanted to make a joke about like, well, Pedro Pascal's getting up there in age. It's harder to stretch the older that you get. You know? he doesn't do that much in the movie.
He actually doesn't have any powers.
No,
they didn't actually mention his powers, did they?
Well, I mean, they didn't
mentioned
really
the other three of them.
Anybody's powers, like
they did. They said back with last time we went, he wasn't rocks. He didn't light on fire. I didn't go invisible. They didn't mention anything about Reed's powers, which I am not starting a conspiracy theory. Yes, I am. That Reed doesn't have powers in this universe.
Reed's impotent in this universe.
Only in the literal sense of the word. Reed is impotent. Let's hashtag Reed is impotent. Let's get it started. Let's get it going, pandas.
That's going to dash a lot of first steps theories.
What does that mean?
Franklin's not his kid.
Being related to a baby.
Right. The fact that first steps and also things get very personal. We only saw a little glimpse of her powers, just a little. I'm curious how being invisible is obviously a hard thing to show on screen.
It's really about not showing. She's in every frame, Matt.
Yeah, they showed her powers throughout this entire trailer.
She and Drax every frame.
she Drax and John Cena
That's right.
all over this trailer, every scene. But no, it's always an interesting thing to see how they do that because there's the whole like translucent woman. They have the same thing in comics. Different artists do it differently. There's some traditional ways to do it, and I'm sure they will pull inspiration from those comics to show it. But in this way, it almost like she was like glitching out when she was going into invisible. In her invisible thing, like sort of.
Well, yeah, it's like
more intense.
She was putting the force field up, right? Putting the force field forward, and it's like it was warping the light and like distorting how you view her, which is a pretty solid effect. Like that was pretty cool. For sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, man, I'm pumped. This is a great vibe. I feel like there's no real crazy shocks in this, but everything looks freaking great. And I just can't wait. And we may or may not do a frame by frame depending on like I've been looking close, like while we've been talking, I've been pausing and looking, see if there's anything, and I'm not seeing anything that I'm not like just noticing in the discussion. There's a few broad scenes in like their kitchen, but I just don't know. Like I don't know if there's much to like frame by frame in this.
Sure, all right. Sure.
But
I mean,
but we'll see.
I really want that car. That car is cool as hell.
Oh yeah.
And well, actually, there is one like sequence that I spotted in the trailer that like it was when Johnny was flying through the city, like like weaving through buildings. It kind of gave me those Spider-Man vibes.
Totally. One thing I really noticed too is that while this is a retro futuristic world and the world has clearly changed, the technology is different. The city looks really close to regular New York, and I think part of that is just they're shooting it in like the Galactus scenes where it shows a broad range. I was like, for a second, I was like, wait, is that their New York or our New York? Because you can almost not tell a difference. But if you look closely, there are a few like weirdly shaped buildings that I don't think are in the real New York. I'm not a big New York head, but there's a few like weird oval shaped buildings. But some of those broader shots look very real, and they don't look. Some of the concept art we saw seemed to show like the world was going to be very different. Lots of weird shaped buildings and stuff. It doesn't seem like they've gone that way, at least as fully as some of the concept art we saw.
I don't have the frame up right in front of me, but I think like the establishing shot when you have Sue taking Reed and that other gentleman through the Baxter building, there's a pretty good shot of the New York skyline there. And I think there are at least one or two buildings that are definitely unique to that skyline. Yeah,
there's almost like a Space Needle. There's two buildings that look like Space Needles almost. And then another building that looks like it's almost like Daily Planet-esque, like a giraffe version of the Daily Planet. You'll
there's
see
one
what
that
I mean.
looks like it's a tuning fork holding up a silver sphere.
Yeah, giraffe version of the Daily Planet, Jeff.
Yep, exactly.
I like how differently our minds took that same building and trying to describe it. Yeah. So I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. Any crazy? Okay, I came up with my best crazy theory. I'll try to come up with another one. Any crackpot theories based on the trailer? Come on, some blue strings.
I don't want to say that I'm stretching as good as Reed here, but
give us a Reed stretch.
If Reed is impotent,
a Reed string theory. You're just like
you're just stretching
Reed around on the little board, the little red string board.
Please stop! I have work to do.
I am busy.
You're actually using my board. Please stop. Oh yeah, because you said Reed put it on the board. That's silly. If Reed is impotent, then that's Namor's baby.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Okay. That stands to reason.
Yeah. Oh, that is one thing we've talked about this movie possibly being a world where heroes exist and that all that stuff is already going on. No other heroes shown yet. So that makes me wonder if that's not the case. Right. Because it did seem to show a lot of the movie, or at least like some of the major moments, and like so far no other heroes shown. This is not like the Superman trailer. I think in some ways this is similar in tone to the Superman trailer, so I think those two trailers could be like compared in a lot of ways.
Sure.
But like the visuals seem similar, the color palette seems similar.
Agreed.
But it is unlike the Superman trailer, there's no other heroes around. There's not no Green Lanterns like running around in this
Not
show.
no Green Lanterns up in here.
No bowl cuts over here.
There are buildings that look like bowl cuts, but nothing else.
Yeah. I guess on the subject of crackpot theories, I didn't really have one that came top of mind, but with the prompt there, interestingly, Jeff, I kind of went in a similar direction as you in terms of like potential romances there. We did not get a lot from Johnny outside of like, seeing him fly and just seeing him kind of like tilt his head back, like, Johnny's Johnny. But I'm wondering if there's a potential for a romance between Johnny and Silver Surfer, Julia Garner, because that shot of him flying up into the atmosphere and kind of like hanging out there powerless, like it does remind me a little bit of that shot of Chris Evans in Rise of the Silver Surfer. Sorry to incur that, but I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of lean into the fact that we've seen so many versions of the Fantastic Four and do something a little different there, because there was a rivalry between Johnny and the Silver Surfer in that movie. Maybe that rivalry turns into romance in this movie.
That's interesting. I'm not the comics guy, but from a little bit of knowledge about that version of the Silver Surfer, doesn't her whole backstory have something to do with heartbreak or like losing a partner
I'm not
or something
super
like that?
versed in the Shala Ball version of the character as well, but I know Norrin Rad historically, like it's all about his family and protecting his family and his planet.
Right.
So the likelihood that she's probably in a similar position is pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, like Norrin Rad gave up everything to save his world.
Right.
Became the Herald to save his world.
Right.
And also, I'm not familiar with the Shala Ball version. Guess I have some reading to do.
Indeed. Oh no. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here, I guess.
Did you say your theory though? If you don't have one, you don't have to do one. I thought you had.
I feel
one
like I have to. I
address
called you guys to do one, then I didn't come up with another one. I felt like I should, and then I didn't. I got distracted. I was planning on while y'all were telling yours coming up with something good, and then
okay,
then nothing. Okay. Here's my crackpot theory that hero shot at the end, where they're all on a platform with arrows aiming at them. That's actually like a courtroom. Okay, and that's like they're standing accused. Those arrows are not like pointing at them like, hey, look at the Fantastic Four. Those arrows are like, Jacques, you did it. And that's like, okay, so yeah.
The arrows point to whoever they think is guilty.
Yeah, exactly. And in this version of the thing, that's a multiversal place after their universe has been destroyed and they're getting blamed for it. That's like at the... it's like at the TVA or something, and they're like they've got all these arrows aiming at the Fantastic Four and blaming them for all their crimes.
that gives Ben's line. He says, "Why don't you be the judge?" That gives that a much darker context here.
Oh no!
yeah, it does.
You know, that platform with the arrows, like the aesthetic of it, like, and just the general shape of it reminded me of where Loki showed up in the original Avengers.
Funny you say that. When I was joking about this, like being a multiversal, like courtroom type thing, I immediately, of course, thought of the TVA. And then I was like, what if we've talked about the technology at the TVA and how it's advanced, but also retro-futuristic. What if like the Fantastic Four is a weird, here's my real crackpot theory. The Fantastic Four is like introducing the TVA in a different way. We've already met them in Loki, but like the TVA is actually like an invention of Reed Richards. After his universe is destroyed, he goes like, so the beginning of the TVA before Ouroboros and all of that is like Reed Richards starting the TVA, and that's like how this movie ends. Is he's like beginning the TVA as a way of preventing incursions and stopping his future lineage from creating the Kangs and all that.
That's when you have Robert Downey Jr. as Doomstep, and he's like, Reed, you shouldn't have done that. You have offspring that causes a lot of problems for the multiverse, but I already corrected that for you. Not my best RDJ, but
good stuff. All right, well, we're gonna get out of here. I know we all have hard outs. So thank you guys for joining us. We'll be back with lots coming in the coming weeks. Tons of stuff. I'm sure we'll talk about this more with even a little more like our brains around it tonight on Multiverse News. We get on there around 7:30 Central. So come hop on YouTube and youtube.com/strandedpanda to find us there. And we'll be back soon. Peace.
Until next time, true believers.
Hey, you just listened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe podcast from Stranded Panda. I really hope you liked it. Let me just say a big thank you to all of our supporters on patreon.com/MCUcast. You are the lifeblood of our little operation here, and a huge thank you to our insanely generous Illuminati tier patrons, Walter Kreisky III, Lieutenant Bongo, and Jazz Viz. You guys are amazing. If you'd like to see our beautiful faces, you can catch a video version of many of our episodes at youtube.com/strandedpanda. Love you 3000, my friends.